Welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm your host, Kit Evans Ford. Today we have a very special guest, Miss Liz Dierolf, Director of Community Engagement with Skip Along Family and Community Services. Liz, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's an absolute delight to have you here today. Today we're talking with Liz about car seat safety for kids, a very important topic. So I'm really excited that you're here. So to start us off, you see kids getting in and out of vehicles every day, going to school or at home and other things. So what mistakes do you see parents often making?
Well, I think one of the bigger issues that parents face is keeping their child buckled in the seat once they get to an age where they can unbuckle themselves if they want. A lot of times you're rushing in the morning to get them to school, get them to childcare, and if you get a little flustered, like I do sometimes with my kids, you may drive out the door, and if the kid is having a rough day, maybe you decide you don't want to buckle them and force them to be strapped down, but that's really important to set a good example and buckle ourselves and make sure the children are buckled.
Mm-hmm. Now, why should children be strapped in correctly?
Well, there are some great, not very happy statistics that show that the number one cause of deaths in children are preventable injuries. And obviously we take cars and trucks and vans and every single day, especially around here in the Quad Cities. So it is really important that they're strapped in safely and securely and properly so that they remain safe in case there is an accident or something happens to them while they're in the car.
Well, I know you have really helpful information from Skip Along, but I also know just from speaking with you earlier, you have 3 girls yourself. So how has the journey been with your girls and the car seat safety?
I do. I have 3 daughters, 8, 6, and 3. So I have run the gamut between the rear-facing infant seats to the convertible seat to the high back booster to now having a child who sits with just the seat belt in the car. So I've learned over the years and through reading lots of information and getting some help from some local resources how to properly secure all of those children in the car.
Well, wonderful. So, it's good to know that at each stage there's a different process for each one with where they should be faced and other things. So to get into those details, how long should children be in car seats and how long should children be rear facing in those car seats?
Well, the American Academy of Pediatrics has some very helpful information and recommends that children be rear facing in the back seat of a car until they are 2 years old or until they exceed the manufacturer's weight and height limits for the rear facing car seat. Children in general should be in some sort of child restraint device, whether it's an infant car seat, a booster seat, or a little smaller booster with the actual seatbelt for the car until they are over 4'9" and over 40 pounds. The Academy also recommends that children stay in the back seat of a car until they are 12 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay, good to know. Good to know these details, and they can find all that information online.
Absolutely. All of that information, including some helpful images and things that show which car seat is appropriate for which child, are available through the American Academy of Pediatrics. This morning I also did see that there is an app for that. There's an app from the American Academy of Pediatrics that you can put on your mobile device, Android or iPhone, and it has some really helpful information. You can even put in your child's height, weight, and age, and it will recommend what child restraining device, car seat, is appropriate for that child. It will go to a product listing so you can see which brands of that seat are available and get a little bit more information. And that app also does have a spot where you can plug in what car seat you are using, and it'll tell you some information about it, including the lifespan of the car seat and whether there are any manufacturer recalls. So very helpful resource that you can
And
get.
that's another question about the recalls. I know I'm a new mother, so I have a 4-month-old now, and I know when we were getting the car seats and other things, there was information on that you have to send to the manufacturer, and I'm not sure if that was based on recall or not. But how can someone find out if their car seats have been recalled? Because that's really important information.
Absolutely. It's definitely important to keep up to date on some of those things. There are, just like cars and other products that have parts or things that don't work properly. If the car seat doesn't work properly, it's not safe for your child. So definitely keeping an eye on those manufacturer recalls is a very good way to keep your child safe. Consumer reports can tell you what products have been recalled, and you can also, you mentioned the card that comes with your car seat when you've got all that packing material and everything else you take out of the box. There's a little card to register your car seat with the manufacturer, and if you take just a minute or two to fill out that information and mail it in. It's a little postcard, or a lot of times the manufacturers will have a website link on their website that you can go to fill that information out online. When you do that, they will send either through email or through mail information regularly that tells you if they have one of their models that matches your car seat that has issues or has been recalled. You'll get that information right away. So very helpful. A lot of times when that does happen, the manufacturer will issue you a refund or ask you to take it to the store where you can exchange it for the model that is appropriate. So a lot of times that's something that the manufacturer will do, and very helpful, so you don't have to worry about spending more money for another car seat. They will help you out with that to make sure that your child's safe.
Yeah, and I know that's one thing that you mentioned when we were talking, just the sometimes the cost of car seats can be kind of expensive for some, but knowing that it's important to put that as a priority for the safety of our children.
Definitely, and there are some less expensive versions. We talked before about the convertible car seat, which is one that's designed to last through your child's young life a little bit longer. And there are lots of those popping up now, which are definitely a safe option if they're installed properly according to the manufacturer's guidelines. They can go from rear facing to forward facing to booster seat style, and then you can have just one little bit more expensive car seat, but you can keep it a lot longer and extend the lifespan of that car seat for your child.
Okay, now should car seats have a shield or harness as well?
Most car seats that you purchase new will have the appropriate safety devices to keep your child in the seat and properly harnessed. So we talked a little bit too about whether you should purchase a car seat brand new or if it's okay to get it from a friend or from a yard sale. And the American Academy of Pediatrics, as well as state officials and the fire departments, recommend that you definitely try to buy new as much as possible. If you purchase a car seat from the manufacturer, from a store brand new, you're guaranteed to have all of the proper pieces, and you'll know that it hasn't been involved in a car accident and that it is safe for your child. We can trust everyone to be honest, but if a car seat has been involved in a car accident, it's very similar to your car. Things may not look like they're any different, but there could be some damage inside the car seat that would prevent the child from being completely safe the next time that there may be an accident. So definitely purchasing new and following the manufacturer's guidelines, reading the manual, which car seats have manuals too. I know how much we all love to read through manuals for all of our technology devices, but it is very important to make sure you're following those guidelines and installing the car seat the way that the manufacturer intends. You can watch YouTube videos and get resources from the American Academy of Pediatrics as well to make sure that your car seat is properly installed.
Okay, now I know you mentioned technology, and with some cars now you have built-in car seats. So are those built-in car seats safe?
I wouldn't be able to say. However, I would definitely, again, go back to the American Academy of Pediatrics and check their website or find out more information through them and through the manufacturer of the car that has the built-in car seat to check to make sure that it meets the guidelines and laws for safety in the state that you live in. That's what's most important. Even though you may feel your child is safe, we have laws in Iowa and Illinois to protect children in cars, and if the police officer doesn't feel that that car seat meets that law, you may get in trouble. So definitely look for the manufacturer's guidelines and look at the American Academy of Pediatrics to make sure that whatever built-in seat you have in the car meets the guidelines that are appropriate for children.
Very helpful. Keeps coming up, American Academy of Pediatrics.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you know their website?
They have a website called healthychildren.org. That has all of that information. It's focused on children specifically, so there's car seat safety as well as other resources that you can find, videos and tutorials on how to install car seats, lots of really good information.
It sounds very helpful. I'm taking a note of it, healthychildren.org. Yes. Well, if someone wants to have their car seat inspected, where can they go?
Well, each of the local fire departments hosts a day during the month or has kind of an open policy for bringing in your car seat to have it inspected. They have certified car seat technicians at every station that offers the car seat safety checks, so you can be guaranteed that you're getting the right information from the right person. Each of the local cities, Bettendorf, Davenport, and Moline particularly, have on their websites the day of the month and the timing that each of their fire stations does the car seat safety checks. So definitely check that information or call your local city department officials and find the right information to the fire station that would help. But they're always willing to help, and a lot of times they will schedule events where they go to a school or another child care center or someplace else and do a car seat safety check. So kind of keep those things in mind and check for that information periodically.
Okay, so there are community resources around to help us
Absolutely.
with the car seats. I know one question I had, I know you'll go into the stores often, or I'll go into the stores often and see all the, leopard fuzzy things or really pretty pink that have a little girl. So, that you can put in the car seat around their neck and other things. But I've read that some of those things as far as the car seat being safe, just use what's provided with the car seat and not buy all of those nice, fuzzy, cute things. Is that true, or what advice would you give on the temptation of all the cute, fuzzy car seat accessories?
Sure, yeah. There are lots of accessories that are made by the manufacturer of the car seat. What's recommended, again, by the American Academy of Pediatrics is to, if you need some extra supports or extra accessories, to purchase the ones that are made by the same manufacturer as your car seat. Again, there are some ways that you can home make some pieces to help your child be more comfortable. If you have a very small infant, like I did, all three of my children were a little bit small. You put them into that infant car seat thinking this is going to be just the right size, and then they just are so tiny inside of that, and you worry they're going to bounce around a little too much and everything's going to be loose. There are ways to keep them a little bit more comfortable by putting a rolled up blanket on either side of them.
That's sweet.
And by doing either a little blanket roll or even kind of folding a diaper and putting it in between where the seatbelt comes up between their legs. There's those kinds of things that you can do. Again, the American Academy of Pediatrics has some great videos and some images to show you how to properly do that. And again, they recommend not putting anything behind the child or in between the harness and the child to make sure that they stay safe.
All right, really helpful, practical information. Yeah. Now, what can can we go and get more information about your organization? If someone wants to get in contact with you, where should we go?
Sure. We have a website as well, of course, skipalong.org, and there's lots of information about our child care centers that we have throughout the Quad Cities. We also do have some resources for parents who may be in need of clothing or food, some crisis intervention services. So there are a lot of community resources we have as well on that website, and we have Facebook pages. We're social as well, so a lot of our Facebook pages will talk about some community events coming up, free activities to do with the children, that kind of thing. So lots of information available.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Liz, for your time. Such really helpful information. We really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you for being here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more joy in our town.
More than 600 people are living with HIV and AIDS in the Quad Cities.
Over 150 of them don't know it.
The project at the Quad Cities provides support to hundreds of individuals and their families in Iowa and Illinois.
We've performed thousands of confidential HIV tests and helped HIV-positive mothers give birth to 18 HIV-negative babies.
Our mission, Your Life, the project of the Quad Cities, committed to action in the battle against HIV, STI, AIDS.
Welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm your host, Madison Logan. Today we are at Habitat for Humanity Restore, talking with founder and director Cindy Kuhn. Today, Cindy is going to talk with us about the importance of recycling. Cindy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the Habitat for Humanity Restore, your mission, and what you do here.
Well, our mission is twofold. The first part of it is to save good construction materials and other things from the landfill. And the second part is to support the work of Habitat for Humanity. So it's kind of a double mission. We started out just taking construction materials, doors, windows, plumbing materials and things like that. And over the years we've added appliances and furniture to our inventory. So primarily we serve the Quad City area, but we do have customers and donors bringing things from quite a distance. We have a lumber yard, for instance, bringing things from us from Prophetstown, so that's really nice because they just don't want to throw the things away. We have customers that come from Muscatine and from Chicago and all those kind of places, so people will travel to find the right things for their homes.
What are some of the problems associated with having too much waste material?
In our society, we live in a pretty throwaway kind of society. We have a lot of building materials that are in the works because somebody wants to remodel. We might like to change the color of things, we might like to change the styles way before something is ready to be thrown away. So even doors and light fixtures and bathroom cabinets and things like that, we get a lot of those things that are perfectly good, but they're out of style. They might be, old and people want something newer. So the problem is it's really not right to throw those things in the landfill and fill our landfills with those kinds of items, and there are a lot of people that can use them. So it's nice to be that intermediary where we can take things that people don't want anymore and make them available to people who can use them. We have always kept track of how many pounds that we divert from landfills, because if you come in our store and you look around, pretty much all the things that are in there could potentially have been thrown away if we weren't there to take it. And over the years, we've saved 10 million pounds from being discarded into the landfill. So that's both the merchandise that we sell, and then we also do a scrapping operation with some of the things that aren't sellable, but we can scrap and recycle the materials.
When materials come here, what happens to them?
The first thing that happens is we unload them. We offer a receipt to our customer for donation receipt for tax purposes. Our guys will unload and process the materials, the couches or the cabinets or whatever, the doors, and put them out for sale. And the public can shop at our store. It's kind of like a Goodwill store, a kind of cross between Goodwill and a Lowe's type store. And we're open to the public so people can come in and buy the things. It's always fun because sometimes people will have a particular style door that they're looking for instance, and they can come in and maybe find a 50-year-old door that just matches what they've got in their house. So that's really rewarding when that happens.
What are some of the community benefits of using recycled materials?
I like to say, we're kind of a win-win-win situation. It's a win for the donor because that person doesn't have to fill their garbage cans or their waste with an item that's still perfectly good. It's a win for the customer who comes in and is able to purchase something at quite a discount. And then the third group that wins is Habitat for Humanity, because we support the work of building homes for people who need simple, decent, affordable housing. And the profits that we make support that effort, and so it's a win for those folks as well.
What can we do to encourage people to think more critically about consumption and waste?
It's hard because we always, at least when I was growing up in the 70s, there was a lot more, I think, conversation about reuse and recycling, and I think it's gone out of vogue and is maybe coming back into style a little bit. Letting more people know that places like the Restore are there helps environmentally quite a lot, because if somebody buys a door or a window from us, then we're not, the resources aren't being utilized to manufacture a whole new product, and that saves across the board.
How would you answer critics who say that it takes too much time or too much effort to reuse?
That happens a lot. A lot of times a contractor will be reluctant to maybe donate the things, and we get a lot of calls from people who say there's construction going on in their neighborhood and these contractors are just throwing things in the dumpster and it really upsets them. Why don't we come and get the things? And sometimes the contractors will tell us, well, it's just quicker to throw it away. We do try to work with people as much as we can to try to get them picked up if somebody has something that they want to donate to us. We'll work with, like if a kitchen is being remodeled, we'll try to coordinate so that the kitchen comes out on a Monday, we can try to pick it up within a day or two if it's stored in the garage or something like that. So we've tried to work with our donors to make sure that we get there in a timely manner. And a lot of contractors are really good, and they bring things to us. They don't like to throw things away. So, but it's hard. There will always be people that it's quicker and it's more expedient to just toss it, and it's more expensive. And in the long run, for our environment, it's not a very good situation. So,
what are some of the strangest items that the Restore has received?
We've gotten some really unique items. One of the things that we do is we go out and harvest, we call it, from buildings that are going to be torn down. And it's really nice if the owner, before they send in the wrecking ball, will let us go in and salvage. And we did several years ago, we harvested from a place called the Villa, which was an old mansion in Rock Island, and we got grotesques. They were, big concrete faces, and they were really, really cool. It was so neat to be able to save that from landfill. Also, we've gotten cupolas from garages. We've gotten little gazebos and things like that. One of the more recent things we got is from another school in Rock Island, the Audubon Elementary School. We took down blackboards that were going to be just demolished, and some of our volunteers cut those blackboards into smaller pieces, and then they made little tiny blackboards out of them, so people who went to that school or taught at that school could have a little memento from the school. So those are fun things for us to be able to participate in that really help the community, feel good about, letting go of something. They can still have a piece of it.
How does the Habitat Restore address some of these environmental concerns?
We address some of the waste diversion issues by, actually taking the items out of what would have been a waste stream and converting them into products that people can use. We take a lot of cardboard. We recycle that. We don't take cardboard from individuals, but the cardboard that we use in the process of what we do gets recycled. Metal gets recycled, and so from an environmental standpoint, we try really hard not throw things away. We've also recently gotten to where anything that's wood waste on our end that doesn't sell, we will put that in a wood dumpster, and that gets recycled as well. So over the years, we've found a way to recycle more and more of the products that we take in. So that's been good. We also have tried to make our building really energy efficient as well, and so that feels good.
Do you have any general tips for recycling that you'd like to share with our viewers?
It's funny because that old saying, what one man's trash is another person's treasure, is so true. And a lot of times I'll be bringing an item out for a light fixture, for instance, and I'll be putting it out on the floor, and I'll think, boy, I don't know if anybody's really going to want that light fixture. And next thing I know, somebody's taking it out to buy it. And so what my personal style is, or what yours is different. And if I move into a house and I don't happen to like the fixtures or the lighting or the cabinetry, that doesn't mean that they're not something that somebody else can appreciate. So keep that in mind, that we all have different tastes, and just because it doesn't fit your taste, it doesn't mean that it's something you need to throw away.
How can viewers acquire recycled materials from the Restore?
We are open Wednesday through Saturday. Wednesdays are late night. We have opened from 10 till 7 on Wednesday. Thursday and Friday we're open 10 to 5, and Saturday we're open 10 to 3. So anybody can come in and shop. It's kind of an adventure. We say every day is like Christmas because we don't know what's coming. So we have a lot of customers who come in and shop weekly, a couple times a week, because they know the good stuff comes out all the time, and they don't want to miss a chance of getting the great deal on some really cool thing.
How can people get more information about reusing items or volunteering with Habitat?
We have a website that we try to keep fairly current, and I'm kind of proud of that, and we have a page on there for our volunteering. We also have a page on there for shopping, and that gives a listing of a lot of our current inventory, or at least some of our special things. And so I would send people to our website as a good resource for what we do and how they can participate either as a donor or a shopper or a volunteer.
Would you mind giving us a brief recap of key things you would like our viewers to remember?
Well, a lot of what we have at the Restore, almost everything that we have at the Restore, has come to us by donation. And many, many thousands of pieces of things. So those are handled by a small paid staff, but a large group of volunteers, maybe 50 to 60 volunteers come in during the week and help us process, unload, price, and cashier and display all those things. So it's a joy to work with those folks. They've been really supportive, as have been the customers and the donors in the Quad City community. So it's just a great place to be. It's a great place to work, and I'm really blessed to be a part of that.
Cindy, thank you so much for coming on our show and discussing with us the possibilities of reusing durable medical equipment.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate being able to get the word out.
Thank you, viewers, for watching. Join us next time on Join Our Town.
This program has been sponsored by the Trinity Broadcasting Network and made possible by your telethon dollars. Your continual support can keep Join Our Town brought to your home every day. So write Join Our Town, P.O. Box A, Santa Ana, California, 92711.
You're watching TBN, part of the Trinity Broadcasting family of networks.